Coming up on the February 28th edition of the Met Report, our men's basketball team inches closer and closer to the end of regular season.
A Mexican drug lord on the run for 13 years is finally captured.
And an award-winning musical makes its way to MSU Denver. All this and more on the Met Report.
Welcome to the Met Report. I'm Anthony Rodriguez.
And I'm Cinthia Maldonado. The first Hospitality Leadership Distinguished Speaker Series started this week. Monty Moran, co-CEO for Chipotle, was on campus. Department of Hospitality, Tourism, and Events Management hosted the event at the Spring Hill Suite. This event helps students become greater leaders. Moran, a former lawyer, talked about the process to become a qualified leader of one of the most profitable, fastest growing companies in the U.S. Students packed the conference room to hear his personal experience and how to be successful regardless of the background we come from.
They came from middle class to poor families and have grown and made their way to the top of these very, very large corporations, and which is really cool because they get it. They get, you know, the average Joe and the average student.
Students are highly encouraged to attend one of these series on leadership.
Chipotle burritos are great, but students are cooking up their very own assignments at Metro's student-run grill.
I'm in the Hospitality Center where Metro recently opened up its very own student-run restaurant. The menu caters towards a few classes that they have offering here. I interviewed the chef and some students to get some info on the Metropolitan Grill.
The teachers are really good. We do a lot of prep in the back in the morning, and then you know, they're very interactive with that and being in the front of the house. So all the students switch from the back of the house to the front of the house or vice versa. And then once we open for lunch, then all the back of the house students come to the front and then work the line to prepare the lunch as the orders come in.
The Metropolitan Grill, as it's named now instead of the student-run restaurant, we opened officially to the public 2 weeks ago, but prior to that time it's always been kind of part of the curriculum so that students were getting service experience and real-life cooking on the line, and then during the semester they switch so that they end up doing both front of the house and back of the house.
It's open to the public Monday through Thursday. And, you know, we just prep everything from scratch, get here early in the morning. It's a fairly long class, and we serve to the public. It's a lunch menu we have going on, and yeah.
With prices under $30, be sure to book your table. Walk-ins are accepted, but people are advised to visit their website at opentable.com/the Metropolitan Grill Reservations Denver. For the Met Report, I'm Yoni Gebru.
The 9th annual Artopia Festival happened this past weekend, and it was one funky and fun party worth checking out. A great turnout in local support of art and performances is exactly what we got at Denver's 2014 Artopia celebration. Urban artists showcased their eccentric pieces in the festival. We caught a glimpse of some artwork belonging to former roadrunners. How cool is that? Live musical performances and fashion shows lit up the scenes at places like Club Vinyl and City Hall, all accompanied by flowing booze and tasty hors d'oeuvres. Honestly, a party that incorporates fine art and Denver culture, what's not to love?
It's the place to be at today.
Nice.
Art everywhere, free food. Everybody who's anybody in Denver is here tonight.
If you'd like to see pictures and videos of all the festivities and amazing Mile High City talent, visit westward.com/Artopia/2014.
Lambda Theta Nu has introduced MSU Denver to the world of Greek life. Reporter Janice Karaskel shows us their involvement in community service.
Lambda Theta Nu is almost 20 years old. This sisterhood works hard to empower Latinas in higher education. Let's hear more about it.
We are a nationwide sorority, and we are the ADA chapter here at Metro. We have alumni all over the different states that have graduated, either they're at grad school.
With core values, academics, community service, and sisterhood in mind, these ladies always have something going on.
We focus a lot on community service, especially helping out the Latino community, just because we are historically Latina, but not exclusively. We have co-sponsored different events such as Dia de los Muertos, the Latino Welcome.
And if you enjoy traveling, the sorority attends 2 national conferences every year, where they get to explore new places and meet other sisters from across the nation.
It's just really good to have that support system to help you move forward with college in general. And I think that that's why a lot of ladies also join, just because, you know, they want to help out the community and they want to overall grow themselves as leaders. They have to be a second semester freshman or on. They have to have a 2.7 GPA. And they cannot be a graduating senior.
Find them at Student Activities Office or their Twitter account at elegant_Ada. For the Met Report, Janice Carrasquel.
Tobacco smokers between 18 and 20, beware, there's a new law coming. Colorado is looking to regulate tobacco similar to alcohol. This new measure will increase the age from 18 to 21. Research shows most kids start smoking at 18. Some students consider this age increase a good thing. If the law passes, it takes effect until 2018. Utah is making the same proposal along with Colorado. These states would be the first to penalize young smokers. This bill still needs to reach the governor's desk for a signature before it comes into law.
Imagine a world where you have to pay to pee. Metro State's theater program reenacts that very world on stage at the King Center in a show called Urinetown, the musical.
It's a story of capitalism gone wrong, a place where the poor have to pay to pee, but then the poor revolt and take over.
It's the message of corporate takeover. We're inserting a little message of the Occupy movement of the 99% versus the 1%, and how a voice has power to change things. But in the end, they do get change, but they still screw it up.
It's a show that might be especially fitting in this economy, with the 1% under more criticism for their apparent greed.
They can expect the unexpected. Most musicals you come to, you have a very clear plot, you have a very clear through line. This one plays around a lot.
You can expect kind of these rich, upstanding society types, and then the poorer types who, are more down on their luck and aren't quite as entitled and kind of need a little more than the rich are willing to provide.
One warning for you, children under 5 will not be admitted since the show contains mild adult content and humor, but it is still a show for families.
The comedy behind the show, there's a serious subject, but we go through it in a comedic way.
Urinetown the musical runs from February 27th through March 1st and March 6th through March 8th with their matinee on March 9th. Urinetown won 3 Tony Awards and premiered on Broadway in 2001, running for 3 seasons. For the Met Report, this is your town. I'm Rachel Branda.
Tickets are on sale at the King Center box office. Call 303-556-2296 or go to ahec.edu/kingcenter/tickets. Metro students can get a free ticket with a valid student ID.
MSU Denver's theater department is issuing a call to all actors or aspiring ones. It is time to audition for the spring One Acts. The One Acts are a compilation of plays overseen by senior level directing students. No experience is required and you don't even have to be a student to audition. Sign-up sheets are now available outside room 269 in the Arts Building. Auditions take place March 17th through the 19th.
Residents in Jamestown, Colorado are still feeling the effects of recent floods. Met reporter Antoinette Brown shows us the devastation that comes once every 1,000 years.
It's been nearly 5 months since Colorado's historic floods. Jamestown, northwest of Denver, remains without running water. I talked to Tom Check, who is the director of One World, One Water. He gave his opinion on infrastructure and what it will take for Jamestown to fully recover. Heavy rain, dirty water, and catastrophic flooding. The image of Colorado this past fall. 14 counties were affected, a disaster only seen once a millennium.
18 to 20 inches of precipitation in a matter of 5 days, that only occurs on average once every 1,000 years. In that time, I've seen nothing at all to compare with the flooding this last fall.
Months after the disaster, towns still struggle to recover today. One of them, a tight-knit community of Jamestown, remains without running water.
The resources, money, to help the town fully recover.
Residents in Jamestown stay positive. It may take Jamestown months or even years to make a full recovery, but with positive help from the community, Jamestown has the means to rebuild. For the Met Report, Antoinette Brown.
You know, it's very devastating what happened to Colorado, but it's good to see that Colorado keeps pushing through.
Absolutely. My family actually lives up in northern Colorado, and they're actually recovering quite well.
Well, that's great.
Well, still to come here on the Met Report, political unrest in Venezuela reaches a boiling point.
And with March right around the corner, it's time to get those mustaches ready.
And coming up, I'll bring you the weather here in the Mile High City.
Coming up in sports, find out if your Roadrunners can lock up the RMAC regular season championship.
Is brought to you today in part by Health Center at Auraria, a proud sponsor of the Healthy Pursuits program. Healthy Pursuits brings Zumba, belly dancing, Nia, Pilates, and yoga classes to Auraria for free as part of tuition and fees. Classes are offered Monday through Friday, and you can find the full schedule on the Wellness channel in ConnectU or on the Health Center website at tinyurl.com/healthypursuits. Also, real-time updates are on Twitter at BeWellAuraria, and news and events are on Facebook at Health Center at Auraria.
Welcome back. Arizona Governor Jan Brewer has vetoed Senate Bill 1062. The bill would have allowed business owners to discriminate against the homosexual community based on religious convictions. Businesses such as American Airlines, AT&T, and the NFL urged the governor to stop the bill before becoming a law. They say passing the law would tarnish Arizona's reputation. Colorado experienced a similar fate in 1992 when the Senate Bill Amendment 2. That bill was overturned in court.
Gay couples legally married can now file their taxes together in Colorado. Senate Bill 19 was approved on an 18-16 vote that split lawmakers down party lines. Democrats with a one-seat majority all voted yes. Republicans, one whom was absent, all voted no. Couples can receive all benefits even though gay marriage continues to be illegal in Colorado. The federal government recognizes gay marriage.
The Rockies continue to see snow this winter season. Plenty of snowfall keeps us from seeing a dry spring. However, backcountry enthusiasts should watch their step due to an avalanche danger. Scientists say the last time this happened was 20 years ago. Be sure to check out local conditions and have proper safety equipment before you head out to a trip on the backcountry.
The Colorado Department of Transportation is still looking for new ways to combat the weekend ski traffic along I-70. Congestion has created major problems for CDOT as well as drivers coming home from a weekend up in the mountains. CDOT has blamed the bad congestion on drivers not being prepared for the winter weather. Drivers blame CDOT for not doing a good job clearing the roads. CDOT found a temporary answer to ease the congestion. Colorado State Patrol leads waves of motorists through the Eisenhower Tunnel. The police have escorted for 2 weeks. CDOT says the results are good results so far.
The most expensive Olympics to date is over. Olympics officials say they were grand in terms of both scale and results. A record 88 nations competed in Sochi, beating the previous record set in 2010. Among those records set in Sochi were the Dutch speed skaters team achieving a clean sweep. Both men's and women's speed skating medaled in every race. In the end of Russia topped with medal count, winning a total of 33. The U.S. followed with 28. Russia topped off with games with a huge firework display over the Olympic Village. South Korea hosts the next Winter Games in 2018.
The Georgia Department of Revenue approved a new specialty license plate featuring a bigger symbol of the Confederate flag for the second time. Symbolism of the flag raises some controversy. Some say it represents past servitude, slavery, racism, and second-class citizenship for African Americans. Some white supremacy groups use the flag as a banner. The new plate features a small Confederate flag on top of a larger one, covering the entire plate.
Technology has revolutionized how businesses run, but now it is changing more than just commerce.
Wow, it's amazing what phones can do these days. What's even more incredible is how we are adapting to these changes. Recent studies at Harvard has proven that the brain is changing due to the internet and technology. Researchers have found that we are starting to outsource certain responsibilities of our memories to computers, termed the Google effect, which is the alteration of the neuroplasticity in our brains. Linda Lockwood explains further.
That neuroplasticity actually represents forming pathways in the brain that are associated with new learning. So if we take that away, because we can just go look it up anytime we want to on the computer and not necessarily learn it or learn how to do it, we're going to have fewer of those formed pathways and an inability to really draw on that for future problems in critical thinking and problem solving.
The major area in the brain that is changing is the hippocampus, which is responsible for the consolidation of new information or short-term memory.
The loss of the hippocampus literally means that you're living in a moment-by-moment environment where everything is new and you're not encoding any incidences that have happened at all.
These changes are not necessarily bad. New technology has always been the catalyst for human evolution, but the outcome just depends on how we adapt.
There is a net benefit to technology if we use it right. And I think the way that we use it right is to use it as the resource that it's intended to be and integrate that knowledge into our own brain. I think that it's a great way to move forward with technology.
For the Met Report, this is Ryan Gandell.
Gap Inc. raises their minimum wage. In June of 2014, employees working at the Gap, Old Navy, Athleta, and Banana Republic will see the hourly wage rise from $7.25 to $9 and $10 in 2015. The raise will affect nearly 65,000 employees in the U.S. Not everyone is earning the minimum of $7.25. Most employees earning more than $8 an hour, so the $10 mark is the desired goal. President Obama issued the executive order asking businesses to up the pay to $10.10. Gap CEO Glenn Murphy said this is not a political issue. The raise is an investment in their employees.
After 13 years of being on the loose, one of the most powerful drug lords has been found. The Met Report tells us about the criminal dubbed more powerful than Mexico's president. Notorious drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman remains in Mexico's highest security prison for a foreseeable future. Guzman allegedly is the head of the largest drug cartel in Sinaloa. DEA officials worked with Mexican Marines for 5 weeks before his arrest, Saturday morning in the Pacifico city of Mazatlan. El Chapo bribed his way out of prison 13 years ago, escaping in a laundry basket. Always being ahead of the authorities, Peña Nieto's administration says he will not get away this time. Guzman's criminal resume, infamous. According to a news report from Forbes, he is responsible for 25% of drugs entering the United States. So powerful yet so vicious, 80,000 people have died in drug-related violence in Mexico, and that does not include drug overdoses. Guzman is wanted on numerous drug trafficking and organized crime charges in both the U.S. and Mexico. President Enrique Peña Nieto celebrates El Chapo's capture. This institutional achievement has encouraged us to continue working hard along with compassion and delivery to demonstrate that peace in Mexico is possible. Since this is a high-profile case, Mexico has plenty of motivation to effectively handle this case on its own. President Peña Nieto wants to prove that Mexico is capable of handling this case on its own without depending on its neighbor up north. White House Press Secretary Jake Carney reports that the Obama administration does not have an official position on extradition. For the Met Report, Cinthia Maldonado.
Protests have recently rocked Venezuela. What started as a peaceful protest by a small group of students ended up in a bloody scene all over the country. Government officials attacked resisting civilians. As of Monday, 13 people are reported dead and at least 147 are injured. These protests come in response to the lack of security and freedom of speech that people in this country live with. Native Venezuelan Veronica Milan Santeles says the protests have taken place for a long time. The media is just now exposing it.
15 years Venezuelans have been protesting, but the protest has been silent. The protest has not gone outside of Venezuela.
President Nicolas Maduro declared a 5-day public holiday starting Thursday, hoping to ease tensions.
On the loose after 13 years, finally captured, and hopefully he remains in prison this time.
And hopefully it all ends the violence going on in Mexico and as well as in Venezuela.
And hopefully things get better in Mexico and Venezuela. Well, coming up after the break, Erik Gallion joins us to let us know what's going on EntertainMET.
But first, Yoni Gebru joins us for Met Report Weather. Yoni, I heard snow might be in the forecast again.
Yes, Anthony, snow is going to be in the forecast, but not for today. It is going to be a beautiful 57 degrees with some winds coming in at 12 miles per hour, and it is going to be moving at that northwest direction. So we want to move into our national weather. We do have some high pressure systems coming up in the northeast section of the country today. And if you want to move down, we do have a cold front that's going to be starting in the Midwest, moving on to your west coast kind of. And those are going to be low pressure systems, and they are going to be moving down south, which means that we might be seeing some snow, which is going to be 1 to 3 inches here in Denver. And California is going to be seeing some rain showers. Now moving on to your Sunday. It's basically going to be the same thing. We're just going to be seeing that same cold front. The only difference is that it's just moved on to that east coast, which means that they're going to be getting some cold weathers out there and some snow as well. So moving on to our local Saturday. And for our local weather, we do have Denver, which is going to be at a high of 44 and a low of 22. And then we also do have DIA, which is going to be at a high of 39 and 15. And the same temperatures for those two guys are going to be cloudy with a chance of snow. Moving on to west, it's going to be Grand Junction at a high of 54 and a low of 33 with some rain showers. And then we also do have Colorado Springs, which is going to be at 49 with a low of 17 with some rain showers as well too. Now moving on to our Sunday forecast. The only difference here is that we're going to get some heated weather. It is going to be at 40 in Denver and a low of 23. Sunshine with some cloudy weather, and same thing with DIA. It's going to be at 40 with a low of 21. Just cloudy weather at the same time as well. And for Grand Junction, it's going to be 53 with a low of 31. Colorado Springs, it's going to be at 36 with a low of 22. Now moving on to our 5-day forecast. It is going to be at 52 degrees with a low of 26 coming up on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday is basically going to be the same. It's going to be at 55 with a low of 31. Thursday is going to be our warmest week, coming up at 60 degrees with a low of 34. And Friday, 51, low of 30. So it is going to be a little sunny today, but we might expect some weather. But, you know, go out there, get some sunshine. And if it does snow, go out there and go skiing or snowboarding. This is Yoni Gebru reporting to you for the weather.
Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down.
Where I bring Hollywood a mile high.
Aligning the Hollywood stars over Denver.
I'm here to bring you the latest juicy gossip from the mile high to the streets of Hollywood.
Give your most handsome look to that camera.
Where I'll be bringing you the latest gossip from Tinseltown all the way up to a mile high.
I didn't get any injuries. I was okay. I was a little dancing, these, you know.
Check us out every Friday live at 12:30 p.m. on The Met Report.
Now joining us for EntertainMET is Erik Gallion. Erik, sounds like Hollywood lost one of its comedy greats.
That's right, Anthony. We start off on a sad note with the passing of Harold Ramis. The comedic director, actor, and writer was best known for his roles in Ghostbusters and Stripes, co-starring with Bill Murray. He not only wrote the scripts for those movies, but also co-wrote Animal House, Groundhog Day, and Caddyshack. Ramis had suffered from an autoimmune disease since 2010. He was 69 years old. Many of today's comedians and actors have expressed the influence Ramis had on their careers, including Seth Rogen, Adam Sandler, and Will Ferrell. Well, speaking of Will Ferrell, the re-release of Anchorman 2 hits theaters today and goes for 1 week. What's the difference? It's Anchorman 2.5, now rated R. This new release is 20 minutes longer than the original and features 763 more jokes. Director Adam McKay said the crew realized they could replace every joke with a new one and just decided to go with it. There's even talks about a musical number. Now you can fill your Ron Burgundy void with extra footage of his sweet mustache. Which is in time for the annual event, Mustache March. What started as an Air Force tradition has now become widely accepted in American culture. You could see in these pictures of Brigadier General Robin Olds just how epic mustaches can get. Airmen did it back in the day to rebel against facial grooming standards. The tradition has since evolved into growing mustaches for charities. Now men all over the country can live their dreams of being the next Tom Selleck, Burt Reynolds, or yes, even Ron Swanson. Ladies, we ask that you support us for this great cause. You know who doesn't have a mustache though? James Durbin. Well, lucky for him, he's got a voice. I mean, how else is he going to get the ladies? EntertainMET's Hassan Shah gets an in-depth report on the success James has received since American Idol.
The voice, the music, even the hair. This rock star has it all. His name is James Durbin, best known for his appearance on American Idol, but he's more than just a contestant.
Missing you, my love is gone flying solo. I just never found a place to fit in, so I kind of just made my own space, and that way I could be comfortable with myself. Just kind of hold myself up in my room after school, especially when I had bad days, and just taught myself how to play guitar, taught myself the chords.
Not just the guitar, he taught himself perseverance. After being let go on season 8 on American Idol, it wasn't the end for James. He came back the second time and empowered the judges on season 10.
Whoa.
I'm crying.
Dude, that is high. My God, wow.
He conquered the audition and season 10, making 4th place. Next, his latest album, releasing this spring.
Celebrate is, it's new territory for me. It's a little more leaning more pop than my first record.
Being quirky is one of his best qualities. Very genuine and personable. He was even confident enough to share one of his favorite songs from his iPod.
Beauty and a Beat by Justin Bieber.
So you are a believer.
I'm not.
You're not, but you like that song.
I like the production. All I need is beauty and a beat.
EntertainMET, Hassan Shah.
You can catch more James Durbin, on DurbinRock.com and pre-order his album, Celebrate, which comes out April 8th. After winning 28 Emmys and 2 Golden Globes, fans continue to celebrate the popularity of Breaking Bad. Budapest artist Zsolt Molnar created 62 posters, one for every episode of the AMC show. Molnar spent 5 months creating the artistic pieces, averaging 6.5 hours per poster. He watched every show at least 3 times to capture the perfect subject and quote that expressed each episode. Molnar says it's his way of saying goodbye to the successful series. You can buy prints of all 62 posters at Society6.com. Be sure to tune in next week as Melanie Townsend takes us backstage of the $1 Million Quartet. This rock and roll musical is inspired by the music and lifestyles of Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Carl Perkins. $1 Million Quartet is now playing at the Denver Center for the Performing Arts. And lastly, here's what's coming out in theaters today.
Oh my gosh, did you see that? You gotta check it out. I wanna see that.
That's so cool. I can't wait.
We have to go and check that out.
Let's see.
Every once in a proverbial blue moon, we stumble across an author who may change our lives.
Do you do one-on-one sessions?
Tell me your deepest, darkest thoughts. Let's ask her to move on.
She says you can't leave.
I
you talked to Tommy? I haven't heard from him.
Tell me all your secrets.
Smile!
Smile!
I hate flying. The lines, the crowds, the delays. Someone on this flight is threatening to kill someone every 20 minutes unless $150 million is transferred to this account number.
The FBI, the White House, and Interpol are confirming reports that an international flight has been hijacked by an air marshal.
I'm not hijacking this plane. I'm trying to save it.
Well, it's official. I have to grow a real one from now on.
There you go, falling off again.
Well, yours is coming in. I need one too.
Yeah, I hope mine doesn't fall off, but hey.
Take mine.
In light of the new Anchorman re-release, I don't know if I continue the show, guys. Milk was a bad choice.
Well, all I can say, Ron Burgundy has nothing on us. Well, coming up in sports, Megan Connor talks about our women's softball team.
All night long and do it all again so I can find my way back home.
The sun seems to shine a little less since you've been gone.
You were the one I wanted. Don't stray, don't ever go away.
I'll just smile and everyone will wanna go with it. Oh.
Now joining us for Met Report Sports is Megan Connor. Megan, I heard it was a big weekend for both basketball teams. How was it?
It was a big week for basketball. I'm going to get into that in just a second. First, I want to tell you how the softball team did. Metro Softball opened up our MAC play at Colorado Mesa on Saturday, winning one game and losing the other. But Sunday, they had 2 more games. Let's see how they did. Cassidy Smith threw a great game, playing all 7 innings, only allowing 7 hits and striking out 3. Metro was in the lead throughout the entire game after jumping in front in the top of the first with a 2-out single by Kaylin Harmon. Smith added to her stats when she pitched herself out of a bases-loaded, nobody-out situation in the 4th. The offense helped her out, though, in the 7th with 3 runs aided by 2 errors and a 2-run double by Mary Towner, who finished the game 2 for 4. The Roadrunners win 5-1. In Game 2 on Sunday, Metro blew out Mesa with a score of 12-4 in 5 innings. Metro is now 7-2 overall and 3-1 in our MAC play. They will look to improve in a 4-game set this weekend against Chadron State at home. Friday night, women's basketball lost its 3rd overtime game this season, this time to Fort Lewis, 89-88. They found themselves having to play again the next night against the struggling Adams State Grizzlies team. It was senior night for a quartet of special Roadrunners who played their last home game of the regular season. Cassie Lambrecht, Kaya DeGarmo, Amy Nelson, and Ty Jensen had phenomenal careers at Metro State. Metro came out strong in the first half, committing 0 turnovers and shooting 42%, but Adams State answered, shooting 55% from the field. Once again, it was all about the seniors. Look at Elena Velasquez hitting Amy Nelson with a nice pass in the paint. Nelson would go up, get the basket, and the foul. Metro leads at the half 37-25. But this will be a tale of 2 halves, as the Grizzlies used a 12-point run to cut into a 19-point lead. Velasquez halted the Grizzlies' run with this sinker for 3 of her 11 points of the night. And then Metro would secure the lead with this no-look pass from Fawn Brady to senior Cassie Lambrecht, who would get the bucket. Here's the icing on the cake. DeGarmo, wait for it, 4-3, boom! Metro wins 62-49.
Much needed win. I mean, especially after the disappointing loss against Fort Lewis. So it was really great to get back on the winning track, and we got 2 more games. Hopefully we can get back on the winning track with that, stay on the winning track with that.
With the win, Metro secures a spot in the postseason with a record of 11-9 in the RMAC and 12-12 overall, but have a tough challenge this weekend when they travel to take on UCCS and CSU Pueblo, who is second in the conference. Friday night, the men's team took on Fort Lewis in an easy game, winning 103-72. But the next night would be a classic battle between the best offense versus the best defense in the RMAC. The game started out as you would expect, as the top offense, Adams State, would come out firing on all cylinders. Metro senior Brandon Jefferson would show his leadership on the court with massive plays. Check out that three-pointer. He just makes it look too easy. Now it's Mitch Money McCarron's turn to shine. He steals the ball right out of the hands of Adams State and gets the one-handed slam. The score is 33-32 at half, with the ASU offense edging out the Roadrunners defense. But Metro State won't go down without a fight and a few more dunks. Nick Kay had to have a big play, right? Well, this is it. He takes the ball from the baseline and slams it down. Will Sinclair says, "Get that out of my house." Ball finds its way into the hands of McCarron. Uh-oh, fast break by Metro. Mitch is all about the teamwork and passes the ball to Jefferson, who pulls up for the jumper. This was only 2 of his 23 points for the night. What a way to end his last regular season home game. The Roadrunners dominate Adams State 90-64 and make the Grizzlies look more like a team of teddy bears.
Obviously BJ goes without saying, because he's a 4-year guy. He's been the cornerstone of the program for 4 years. He's provided great leadership. We can count on him, and he's gotten better every single year.
Metro locks in their spot for the postseason and wins the conference for their 8th time. They'll go on the road this weekend to showcase their skills against UCCS and CSU Pueblo. Both games start at 7:30. Women's golf begins the second half of their season after an exciting first semester as a team. I spoke with Coach Ben Porty to find out his thoughts on the upcoming season. The Metro State golf team swings into the second half of their first ever season as an NCAA member and has Coach Ben Porty optimistic.
I love the chance to build this program from the ground up. When the job opened up, I knew it was a startup program. Our goals right now aren't score related. We're just trying to develop them and improve and get better, and hopefully by second semester, which is now, we'll be in a little better shape to finish a little higher in some of these tournaments coming up.
That fall season was his first ever as a head coach after serving as an assistant at the University of Northern Colorado. He is hoping his recent accomplishments from the first half sets the standard for the future of Metro golf.
We, being a brand new program, we knew we were going to take our lumps a little bit this year, especially the first semester.
Coach Porty says that the fall season is a great starting point for the program, but the second half will bring a whole new set of challenges with 5 new players added to the squad.
Usually there's not much recruiting going on between the 2 years. Now with us only having 5 girls, I was still in the recruiting process of trying to find some girls. I was lucky enough to bring 2 brand new girls in this semester.
Though the team faces more challenges to come, finding a home course isn't one of them.
One of my roles for getting this job was to find us a home golf course. We found Green Valley Ranch, which is a great facility, and Common Ground Golf Course. They both come with great short game areas, and that's what we like to focus on right now, and great golf courses and really good practice facilities.
Roadrunners Golf will look to build on their fall season. Their first day of spring competition is the Midwestern State Invitational on March 8th in Wichita Springs, Texas.
And I heard there's going to be a huge men's basketball game happening next week as well.
Yes, they host the 8th seed in the RMAC Championship quarterfinals. It's going to be a huge game. I hope that all of you show up, show your spirit for Metro basketball.
Absolutely.
It's time to get rowdy.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Met Report. For Megan Connor, Erik Gallion, Yoni Gebru, Cinthia Maldonado, and the entire Met Report staff, I'm Anthony Rodriguez, and we'll see you on campus.